Hey guys, welcome to another episode. So today, got all my stuff. It seems a little bit better in Purgatory. 8% resist all is actually, reasonable amount, pretty high up there. 2 DFE is something. HP percentage, I mean I don't have very much HP, but I do need some HP. Even the little HP from my belt I do appreciate, so I'm gonna try without the fastest hit recovery, or faster hit recovery for today. That's weird, the guy was just out in the open like that. I'm probably gonna need to start finding a better flask here. If I don't find a tier 4 with some percentage damage on it, I'm gonna be in some pretty big trouble here. Today on the forum there is some discussion about, if Iron Maiden should have a 100% chance to apply thorns. So before they even go into the blocking or the dodging, calculations, they would just say, like, you have X amount of chance to inflict thorns damage to the enemy that attacked you in physical range. Now, I found that that chance is about 50%. It just happens to be around, I don't know, about 50% of the time that you would get hit, or that you would block. Although I never really did use a shield on her, I would apply thorns damage. Unless you had like some extra stat on your gear that said like 10% chance of 500 damage or whatever. I'd say it was about 50% chance, so. On one hand, it's like I feel like the Iron Maiden already is doing fine. Like I played her late game with 2 swords, and I thought, you know, she was just fine the way she was. But I didn't try her after like the change to her shield block calculation, her inherent formula changes, so there could be some more to that. But right now it kind of seems like if there was going to be an adjustment to always have that chance to hit someone with thorns without being hit, which would be good because you could focus more on AC, even though the armor for the Iron Maiden has less AC on the base. I think it's like 90 AC is like the best you can get on their chest piece. But some kind of like Secutor piece would have 130 AC on it. So it's like it's already kind of built in. But I think it's just at the point where there's always going to be the minimum chance you're going to get hit. I think it's like 8 or 9% or 12%. Somewhere around there. That's if you have like the highest gear ever. You know, the max AC that you could possibly have. I'd say it's probably be less frustrating, but there's already like certain modifications on Iron Maiden gear. Oh wait, is that rank 5? No. No, that's rank 4. There's already like chances of like 10% chance of doing 4,000 damage. So I kind of think it'd be a little ridiculous to make the chance, you know, consistent, at least while with that power level. If you could like reduce the damage and then, you know, 100% chance that you could apply thorns and then all those smaller calculations come in, it's like, alright, that kind of makes sense, but the damage would have to be tweaked. Oh, I think I'm dead. Alright, so I think vitality is decent. With that vitality, I can add into toughness. Can add into unstoppable. And into ironclad. I still got 3 points to spare. I don't think toughness needs to go higher than level 6 to get ironclad maxed. So I guess I could... I gotta think this out. If I maxed out vitality, it would take me... Well, in one more level I could have... No, in 3? Well, 3 more levels I would have. or I could just add into perks. So if I add into mana regeneration too soon, then I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. But I can also change out my rank, so... Not sure if there's even any Bombardier only armor. Most of it seems to be rogue so far. 97 dex. It's actually not too far off. Hardest part I guess would be the strength. I still need some more strength to wear that. Well, I guess it's not happening. Oh, two bosses shoved in the corner here.
I can't carry anymore.
Man. Oh, that's actually really handy. None of the melee enemies can get through because they just don't move. Just don't give a fuck. Next level strat, boys. Next level strat. I guess to start finding this armor class, I'm gonna have to just keep pumping into dexterity. Seems like every one of my points has to go to dexterity, or I'm just falling back behind really fast in the damage department. Ooh, actually, there's a nice wide open level. Hopefully I can get a ton of enemies here. Boy. Well, there's a lot of value when you do that. You just walk in circles, catch a lot of them. But it only really works when you have doorways like this. Once I start getting into the abyss and stuff, I'm gonna be in pretty bad shape. Oh, he ended up way behind me, what? This is not bad at all. This level is going much better.
Now where would I put this?
Way, way faster. Oh wow, 12% resist all. It's not bad. There's also a huge calculation done about crit damage with bows, attack speed with bows. Pretty much just taking the highest amount of damage possible, or I guess probable, from a sharpshooter class. Because someone had asked, you know, what's the highest damage class in the mod? And you know, immediately when you hear that, you're kind of like, well, that's kind of a tough question, because there's really not one that stands out as like the be-all end-all. Like, there's definitely classes that you're like, okay, well, a knight doesn't do as much as, you know, a rogue or something, but you're not really like, you know, what is the best one, and which, and then you start asking like, well, consistent damage, or, you know, depending on item type, because like an assassin would probably like wreck bosses the best, but you know, they don't have any good ranged weapons, so it's like you slow down a lot that way. So that's not really consistent damage. So I guess, you know, Char thought, or maybe it was me, thought it was probably the sharpshooter. Just because you can get triple shot from items. They have the highest crit multiplier, I'm pretty sure, with bows. And bows just tend to attack really, really fast. So eventually there's going to be, you know, the fastest attack speed affix in the game. So it seems like it's a safe choice, if I were to answer that question. But there's a lot of different affixes for it that kind of make you wonder, well, which one is better? There's like Crystalline Bow of Haste, which would just be a big chunk of damage, 330% damage with faster attack. Or, you know, crit damage and crit chance. Like a big mixture of all these ones. You're like, well, is the crit multiplier like high enough to really be, you know, justify taking away a Doom suffix? And it looks to be the case. It looks like, from what he put down, and it looks all like correct to me. I thought the attack speed was off. I thought faster attack speed only clocked in at, it was like a half frame increase. So say like the standard attack frames for sharpshooters, 8 frames for a standard attack. Then quick would be 7. Fast attack would be 6. Faster attack would be, your attacks are either 5 frames or 6 frames. But on average, you know, it's 5.5. Someone in Thehell2 actually did that, except they didn't use calculations for it. Basically, they're just someone who had, you know, they used like programs or something to find all the dopest gear, and then he tried it out with his assassin. He tried fastest attack, he tried faster attack, and, you know, fast attack. You know, all the different combinations of like what would give his assassin the highest damage, and he landed on the same thing. Fast attack is good enough. It's more about, you know, the damage multipliers and things like that. But it's nice to see that there's actually like a calculation going into it now. It's like the proof is in the pudding. You know, because a lot of people say things and it's like, you know, for me it was always the attack frames. I'd read online like, you know, there's 24 frames in a second of animation. So it's like, okay, 24 frames, you attack at 8 frames, you should attack 3 times a second. But I never actually knew, because that didn't make sense to me. Like when you're attacking, you're like, okay, a starting rogue does not attack 3 times a second. Like, she's pretty quick with her attacks, but it just doesn't seem like it's 3. So now that I know that info, though, and since everyone seems to have Excel, or at least knows how to read with it, I think pretty much anyone could do any damage calculation they want. It would take a little bit of time, but then it's kind of solidified there. Like in the Discord, it's a lot of enemies. It's pinned up there now. Which I guess is my only gripe with the Discord right now, is some of the stuff that was pinned in the other Discord, the Diablo Discord, that we moved from, it's just not pinned right now. But something like that, that's just a good calculation to show that, you know, the crit damage affixes do have a place on particular classes. Life regen does have a place. you know, the percentage versus just getting flat life regen on the Executioner. So then when you go to theory craft and stuff, you're like, okay, what am I actually looking for? Or like, should I keep this item? It's like, well, you know that that item could be, or is, the best drop. 13. And even though I didn't really think about it, fastest attack will eventually be in the game. Or maybe it already is, just nobody has found a unique with it on it yet. But I should also plug in the numbers on that sheet and just see, you know, what the damage is going to be like if you could find an item with fastest attack. Sure, your defense is going to be garbage, so it's not really like a fair comparison. It's kind of like preference at that point. But at least, you know, you can see how much damage is fastest attack really worth. Because a lot of people, like, you know, fastest attack looks cool and it does do a lot of damage, especially against bosses. Because bosses, you know, you're just one person. You have a way better chance of stun locking an enemy if you can hit him 3 times before he even hits you once. And also just being able to move. You move and stop and start a lot faster when your attacks go
Now
off
where
quicker
would I
to begin
put
with.
this?
Ooh, elixir dexterity, nice.
I have no room.
Ooh, another elixir dexterity. My lucky day.
Now where would I put this? can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
I don't really know why I'm leveling up Charge Bolt. That might be a graphical thing. I don't know, actually. There probably should have been a chain fence here. Otherwise, it's kind of redundant to have this door here, but then again, it's not really a... It's more fun to see small little things like that once in a while. Because even if you treat this like a real story, it's like, yeah, this still doesn't really look like... Well, I guess I shouldn't say it doesn't look like what a real cathedral would look like, but... Well, I don't know. Seeing a 4-story cathedral does seem a little weird to me. At least when I think of a church today.
I have no room.
I always have a million blacksmith oils, but I never really know what to use them on. There's just never a good, like, standard unique. You're like, I could use that on another character. It just sort of seems like I'm in limbo. Never really feel like putting them on anything. already. Ranged enemies are usually trouble, but got a lot of lightning resist, so I don't think that'll be too bad. Oh boy. Alright, that's about a 40-minute video. I'll catch you guys next time.